for their rights now is Enlightenment language.
But that's not a Muslim, neither of those countries are Muslim countries.
Okay, well, okay. I'm not sure what you're saying. What I'm saying is that I've witnessed in many, many Muslim countries a language of rights and liberty, which is filtered through a Muslim context, but there's not an opposition there because Muslim feminists are very creatively working with Sharia commentary, working with the Quran to say, look, feminism is here in our own tradition, and they're blending a history of Islam with the ideas of the Enlightenment very effectively to make a case for raising women's status and for women's autonomy and dignity. I don't see the contradiction that you see.
I think the idea of universal rights is, in my experience, a problem of cultural imperialism perceived in much of the Muslim world. Now, do I think that makes the idea invaluable? Not at all.
But you're telling me that you've had conversations in the Muslim world where people say, I don't like the idea of universal rights, that's a Western concept?
So many times, I can't even, so many times.
Okay. They like the idea of no universal rights?
They don't believe in the idea of universal rights. They believe that's Western values called universal because they're hegemonic.
But, okay, then we're talking about two totally different things. I have to challenge this. We're talking about two totally different things.
So is there a common rallying point for women who are concerned about their rights, regardless of religion, regardless of their economic circumstances? You know, is there a common rallying point? Or do we have to accept that there are different rallying points? If you're a Western woman, you might have one set of rallying points. You know, if you're somewhere else, you have another set.
I really think we have to be very precise about this because this is a really important thing to understand. You are saying something that's very true, but that does not apply to this entire issue. You're saying something absolutely right, which is that American imperialism has been disguised as universal rights, and they get it that that's bloody propaganda. That I get, that is true, that I understand. I'm saying something completely different, that when I was interviewing Omar Shargawi, who is a filmmaker in Iran who documented the uprising, when I'm interviewing Iranian filmmakers, when I'm interviewing women who are starting the first journalism school in Amman, they talk in a very authentic, persuasive way from a Muslim perspective about rights and liberty. It's not, merged with, Western imperialism. It's utterly autonomous. It's utterly credible. It's utterly authentic, and I think we do a disservice to that revolution to dismiss that or not recognize it.
Okay, can I just jump in here?
No,
where's my applause?
Okay.
Come on. Thank you.
1 second, and then I want to hear from Jermaine, because she's been waiting very patiently.
The issue of the question of, I totally hear what you're saying. I'm sure within many situations that's true. But the idea of rights, universal rights, is language that doesn't go over so well. And within a Muslim context, frequently you hear the word justice instead of rights. And that's a much more popular and universally understood term.
Okay, Jermaine, can I ask you what you think about this idea of rallying points for women around the issue of their rights and around their circumstances? Do you think that it is by nature, it has to be divided because of how different circumstances are for women from country to country, culture to culture?
This is really so difficult because you have to try and think about what the concept is that binds us. For example, one of the things I talk to sixth formers about is why it is that the